Hey everyone, I'm Tsunani. Welcome to my new video. In this video, I will fill a sketchbook spread with these watercolors Lightwish kindly sent to me. The box already looks awesome. It reminds me on the packaging from Paul Rubens, but this is not a surprise. Lightwish is a subsidiary company of Paul Rubens, I think. So this set from Lightwish also comes with a cloth, with a nice cloth in pink and a metal palette for the paints. This all looks very good and it's enough mixing space in here. You also get a swatch card, which is watercolor paper. All colors are printed on here with pigment and light fast informations. What is also very good, I think. There's also a brush included. It looks like a very good one. I asked Lightwish after I unpacked this, which hair is it, because it looks like a real animal hair brush. And they replied it is half squirrel, half synthetic hair in this brush. I wouldn't buy brushes with animal hair by myself. There are a lot of good brushes on the market with synthetic hair, but now it is here and I will use it. And I think it's nice that there is a brush included in this set. It's a set of 24 colors, artist's grade, and on Amazon you can get it for $29.66 right now. I'm not sponsored, by the way. That means I don't get any money for what I'm saying in this video. I will tell you my honest opinion about these watercolors, like I always do. On the little paint pans, there are also all informations printed on this paper wrap. Because it is no information on the pan itself, I stick the wrap on the downside of the pan, again to keep the information. I will unwrap them all and then we will have a look at the colors together. I will speed this up. Can't wait for the sketchbook part. All in all, I like the palette a lot. This is a very good variation of colors, I think. Only a few things catched my eye. The ultramarine is not as vibrant as I know it. It granulates a bit, like a few others of the colors in this set. But yeah, it's not my favorite ultramarine of all times. But I don't care so much because I'm not a big ultramarine fan at all. And the indigo is a very greenish indigo. I really love this color here, but it's also different than the indigos I know, but indigo is always a bit different. It depends on the brand you have. So I don't care a lot. And the Payne's Gray looks more like an indigo, but it's also a beautiful color and I love Payne's Grays. The sepia and the umber seem to have switched their names. The umber looks more like a sepia and the sepia looks more like an umber. But I use my colors how they look and not what they are named. I'm an intuitive painter. Also, all the pigment informations are interesting, but I mostly don't care so much. What I care is that most of the colors have a single pigment. This is very good for mixing, but I will try this all out when I'm using them in my sketchbook. What I really like is that you get a lot of blues in this set. I love blues. Also greens. They made a very good choice on this palette. Oh, and the hookah's green looks also different. It's a more mossy color here, but it's a beautiful color, so as the other greens. And like I said before, I don't care so much about the names. But I think you have to know this. Oh, and I also want to try out the brush. It was a lot of glue on it. It took a while to get it all out of the hair. And I have to say, this is a very, very good brush. It's a bit big for the half pence, but as you can see, it holds a lot of paint and water, and I'm enjoying it. So finally, I will use them in my sketchbook. I picked 4 colors for my spread here, a limited palette. This is how I always start my paintings, in picking 3 or 4 colors. I picked cadmium yellow medium, meadow red, which is beautiful. I also picked sea blue, this nice turquoise, and the Payne's gray. I love this palette. I started wet and wet. Then I make color blobs on my pre-wetted paper, which flow nicely into each other and kind of mix together here and there. Then I let it dry and look at all the nice patterns and shapes, and then sketching in what I'm seeing here on my colorful page. I sketched on top with a Prismacolor Colorase pencil, but because my paper wasn't completely dry yet, it worked not very good. I was too impatient. It's hard to see anything because of that. I'm sorry. And for the first page, I wanted to calm down and just relax. So this is a technique which I also use if I'm very stressed or if I'm blocked and I don't know what to draw, or if I don't want to think about what to paint, if I just want to relax and have a good time. This is always a bit like meditation, and it's so much fun. You have to try this, especially if you are in the mood to paint, but you don't know what exactly to paint, and there are no ideas in your head, then this is something you could enjoy. I also made more than one video about this technique. I will link them in my description. I like all of these videos. Perhaps you like to watch them for inspiration. You can also make smaller areas with your colors if you have not enough time for a whole page, and you can come up with new ideas after this. I call it exercise. This can also be a fun warm-up before a more serious painting session. After that, I love to work in negative technique. That means to paint all around my creatures, paint the shadows and the darks in layers. It's important that your layer underneath is dry, otherwise your paint will flow into areas you don't want to have the color. This layering technique works wonderful with the Lightwish paints because they are more staining watercolor paints. That means it's harder to lift them up from the paper again, what you can easily do with non-staining paints. I will show you later what I mean. As you can see, it's very hard to lift the color up again from the paper, and this means this paint is a staining paint. Here, there happens almost nothing. After everything has dried, I go over with colored pencils. I'm using the colored pencils from Arrtx today. And for the eyes, I used a Sakura gel pen in the end. This is a cute page, I think, and now I was inspired and wanted to work on my second page. I also started with blobs of color, and while I painted, I got good ideas what could be on this page. In the end, it's kind of funny. The left page is something I did all the time last year or before, and the right page is how I would paint today. Also with the girl between her spirits. I'm enjoying painting and drawing women and faces or portraits a lot in the last months. And I think it fits so good to all the magical creatures, which I also love to draw. I'm really happy with this spread in the end. I love how the two pages come together, and I love the color palette I used, and yeah, I also can't say something negative about these watercolors. I just enjoyed working with them. It's a good starter palette for a good price. I don't know much about the light fastness. There are like light fastness 7 or 8 printed on the little pens and on the swatch card. I will test them for you and hang them in my window, so we will know in a few months. This takes a while. And here I first wanted to draw a big mushroom, but I saw her face and I had to draw her face here, and again using layers to bring out the main motive in painting the darks and shadows was the next step here. After this, I finished this piece also with colored pencils and a white gel pen, like I did on the first page. Oh, I have an announcement for Inktober. I made some polls here on YouTube, on my Instagram, and also on Patreon. And you helped me to find a name for my own Inktober list. I will call it Xoontober. Thank you all for your votes. I'm a bit late for my Inktober prep video, but it will come, I promise. I'm already working on the artwork for the list. I will tell you everything about Xoontober in this planned video, of course. And we reached the 3,000 subscribers! Yay! Thank you so much! This makes me so happy, and I'm so glad that you all watch my videos and support my channel. Thank you so much, my friends. There will come a video after the Inktober video, a special one with a giveaway, so keep your eyes open. I will answer all your questions about my art and myself in this video. If you have any questions, then write them in the comments. Yes, I have planned a lot for the next weeks, and I hope I will success. Inktober is a big thing. I don't know yet if I will share my results weekly on YouTube or if I make a few shorts, but I definitely will share my results on Instagram, so follow me if you would like to see my little artworks, and I will share them also on my Patreon, of course. My patrons will get more behind the scenes stuff. They already know the prompts of my Xoontober prompt list. So if you would like to see a bit more here and there, not only Inktober things, also other content, what I'm sharing, like sketchbook pages and little extra videos here and there and everything I think what would be interesting for you and stuff, then come to my Patreon. There is a link in my description, also from my Instagram. So it would be awesome to see you there. Okay, we are almost at the end. I think this is a nice spread. I was really inspired and I full dived into my flow. I had a good time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is the best support for my channel. Thank you so much. A big thank you To my wonderful Patreons, you are awesome. Then have a closer look at this spread together and have an awesome week, my friends. See you next time. Your Tsunani.